Okay, Monday, 24th of June, 2024. So what to do during a Bitcoin dip, Bitcoin bear market, when things are bad, what to do? Okay, there's always that simplistic advice, which is always nice and fluffy. Don't panic. Fair enough. Nice, fundamental, bit overused. Fair enough. But what's a smarter way of looking at it is seeing it as an opportunity as opposed to a threat. Fair enough, it requires a bit of logical conviction and determination. Fair enough. Because firstly, right at the bat, it's a chance to acquire cheap Satoshis. Acquire Bitcoin on the cheap, at a discount. That's what a dip is. Buy the dip. I remember back in 2016, 2017, there were memes about this. There was a song about this. I remember just buy the dip, buy the dip. And it's quite profound. When you keep it simple, buy the dip and hold. Buy the dip and hold, DCA, you name it. So firstly, understand and recognize it's a buying opportunity. Because understand this, price is what you pay, value is what you get. That's Warren Buffett. Investing 101, almost you could say. So price is what you pay, value is what you get. What do you get? The value, it doesn't change. Bitcoin doesn't change because the price changes. No matter where the price goes, it's still the same thing. Apolitical, decentralized, money you can spend, money you can earn with a fixed supply. That's powerful. It's still the same. The maths is still the same. It's open source code, still the same. So what's different? The price. I.e., the market's changed, greed and fear. Because the market, the price, the chart you see on any second, on any time frame, is an indication of a balance between greed and fear. So when it's selling at a discount, the logical thing is to say it's a buying opportunity. It's on sale. Fair enough. Then you can say, well, what percentages? How do you define a dip? 1%, 5%, 10%. It's subjective and there's different schools of thought. But the point is to see it as an opportunity. So that's one. Recognize it as a chance, opportunity to have more Bitcoin, have more Satoshis. Fair enough. Nice. Very logical. Other way of looking at it is to understand that these corrections are necessary to flush out the bad actors from the market, the malinvestments, or even you could even say the paper hands, those who aren't determined to hold it for the long term, because then more Satoshis go into those with diamond hands. Nice little meme there, the holders, the hodlers of last resort. That's a nice little phrase, the hodlers of last resort. If you look at, there's an interesting chart, but I forget what it's called right now. I totally forgot the name. There's an interesting chart that tells you realized price. That's it. The realized price chart shows you strong support in the market, i.e., when the break-even point of the sellers and the miners, and the point of all the hodlers have exhausted their cash. In theory, where they can't buy anymore, the hodlers of last resort. Those who want to buy Satoshis on the cheap, that buy any dip they can, any discount they can. Again, that's a very logical way of looking at it. It's a chance to acquire more, and it's flushing out the bad actors. This is why fundamentally in any market, recessions are good, because it flushes out the malinvestment, flushes out all the bad ideas, the things that have no longevity. Because if they can't handle a simple dip or a simple recession, it's a litmus test. It's a compliance test from the market, a decentralized network of minds and decisions to see, stress test a business, to see if it's worthwhile, and stress test if it's got potential in the long term. This is why. This is fundamentally why things like FTX and Luna went down. It's a big stress test of the market, and if those haven't got longevity, i.e. the balance sheets and whatever else aren't clean, the management system, the management is not good, you name it, it has to go out. This is what's called in economics creative destruction. This is powerful stuff. So understand that these booms and busts, which is what really it is, depending on what time frame, is completely natural. It's extremely important. So understand that it's a natural process. Because when you look at it, fundamentally a market is just humans and people. Humans and human psychology is the same. This is praxeology, understanding human behavior. So it's fundamentally important, it flushes out the bad actors. So it's a natural part of the cycle. Because we don't get these massive parabolic rises if the fundamentals are not good, are not sound and not strong, and that's what results in all these parabolic drops as well. So it's a natural part of the market. It's worth understanding that. Again, very logical. Now, a third way of looking at it is the long-term chart. I always say, when in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Step away from the charts and look at, say, Bitcoin on a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, 15-year chart now. And the further out you zoom, the clearer the signal becomes. Because anything less than on a short term, anything less than a 12-month chart time frame, it's just noise. It's speculators, gamblers, hedge funds behind the scenes, all sorts of manipulation, trading and speculating behind the scenes. It's just speculators. Fair enough. Beyond that, beyond 12 months, certainly on a 3 or 4 year plus chart, the longer the better really, the fundamentals really kick in, and the fundamentals become increasingly obvious the further out you zoom, from a 5-minute chart to a 1 hour chart to a daily chart to a weekly to a monthly to a yearly chart to a decade even chart now. The signal becomes incredibly clear, i.e. the direction of the adoption, the direction of everything. And this is what I've talked about before in the past, the game theory, where the aligned incentives all come together to allow for Bitcoin's adoption and more mainstream. But that's another conversation altogether. And I'm sure I did a video about that as well. No, I did a reply on another video, yeah, something else. And that's a video on my to-do list even. So it's worth understanding this is an opportunity, and also it's very, very healthy as well. The market needs this, flushing out the bad actors, those that don't know how to handle the heat, basically. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, you could say. Very important. And at the same time, this is a chance to step away as well, a bit more spiritual way of looking at it. There's a nice meme, touch grass. Touch grass, go outside. Here I am in London, for example. Touch grass, go outside, do something different. Do something different and come back with a fresh mindset. I think. Come back and disengage and come back with a new mindset, new ideas, whatever else. Years ago, case in point, years ago when I was working for a certain company, 2017, I was very determined to learn and grow and progress in this role. And I had this principle that I quickly developed where during the week I would work intensively, learn a lot of stuff, and on the weekend I would endeavour to learn new strategies, new techniques, and apply it for future use. And also I realised that when I was mentally exhausted from the work, and or emotionally, but especially mentally, it was worth disengaging, taking a break, doing something else, and coming back with a fresh mindset, a new outlook on life, so to speak. That was quite powerful. It meant that I was constantly growing, because it was constantly disengaging and re-engaging with a fresh mindset. Go out and watch a playlist on YouTube, read a book, at least do things like that. Disengage for a period of time, because this is especially important when you understand the fundamentals and the game theory. And your conviction increases. You understand that fundamentally where the adoption, where the price, where the hash rate. That's more important. The hash rate is going to go up and to the right. And the 200 week moving average, 4 years chart only goes one direction. So it's all these different things out there that are giving you mathematical signals as to where the future is. It's just in the short term, the volatility is noise. It's just static. Oh, it's just these loads of sellers, or some news thing happened over here, because I don't know what's caused it now. I'm very numb to the market. I saw some things, I saw some tweets, I have a few of a widget so I can see the price whenever, but yeah, okay, fine. And I know I've got a certain client, and he tells me that whenever something happens in the market, he buys. Fair enough, interesting. So I'm thinking about him and thinking he's staying calm, he's moving into the market, he's expanding, and so if the math is clear with him, then you know what to do. Take it from there, and keep the long-term minded vision. Remember that. And go outside and touch grass, do something different, do something else. Life is meant to be lived. Because then you could also say, and this is a bit more emotional and spiritual now, you spend all that time learning the chart, studying all these things, doing all this stuff to make more money, more Bitcoin, more Satoshis, more fiat, fair enough. But then you could say, what do you do with that time? What do you do with that money even? How are you going to enjoy it? You tell me. And that's a bit more emotional. Remember, we could even say, remind yourself of your goals in your break. What's the big vision? Why are you doing these things? Why not? Very important, worthwhile. Yeah. But otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.